Hello, and welcome to another episode of Busch Insights on Compassion and Community. I'm Jim Busch, President and owner of Busch Funeral Homes, and today with me is Meghan Burmeister, Location Manager of our Avon Lake, and Fairview Park location. So welcome, Meghan.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Yes. Today I'm excited to talk about something that's so near and dear to us is, our just incredible respect for the veterans and the veteran community.
Sure.
And we've long, our resources of our family have followed, supporting different veterans things over the years. We have a tribute for a veteran right here on set today. We're hopeful today that you can kind of educate us a little bit on the many different options that are available for our veterans and our veterans community and the benefits that are in there. So why don't you just take us on a little journey on when a family sits down and you find out that their father served in the United States Army. What are some of the questions you ask, and what are some of the benefits that you can offer those families?
I would be happy to talk about this. The first thing that I ask them is about the eligibility paperwork. So this would be...
That's the DD-214?
The DD-214,
okay.
The military discharge. And I feel, as a funeral director, it is always best for a family to know where that is prior to coming in to make funeral arrangements. So if you are a family member or loved one of a veteran who is still living, now is a great time to talk to them about where their veterans' paperwork is.
So, and that's specifically their DD-214 discharge paper.
That's exactly right.
That's the document you need.
Yes, and
okay.
it traditionally says DD-214 in the lower left-hand corner of this paperwork. Oftentimes it is accompanied by a paper that looks a lot like a certificate. It has an eagle on it. So if you're going through someone's paperwork and you come across these, you want to hold on to that.
Okay.
And your veteran was told at the time of their discharge, hold on to this. So
okay.
I'm hopeful that most people have them.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of benefits can come from being a veteran, and I strongly recommend that our veterans take advantage of those. So there are, not only the military honors that we can have for a family at the cemetery or at the funeral home or in the metro parks where the military honor guard would come and fold and present the flag to them while playing taps. But also the opportunity to get benefits like for disabilities, for health care, for education, like the GI Bill. There are home loans that are available to veterans. All of this can be found out on the military website, va.gov, and there are forms that people can fill out to gain access to their eligibility for different opportunities from the United States government through their service to it.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you piqued my curiosity quick, because I know what you do here in your communities is very important, especially when it comes to honoring a veteran who's passed. So not only can you have the military honors, and it's by their actual branch, correct?
That's correct.
So if they were Navy, it's actually Navy Honor Guard that
That's right.
comes and presents the colors, right?
Exactly.
Plays taps. Okay. So, but you also have a couple local VFW posts that are pretty incredible.
Yes. Both Avon Lake, Sheffield Lake, we've got them. We've actually got a lot of really good veterans services throughout the communities of retired veterans and veterans of foreign wars that have that offer us honor guards, and I'll also offer honor guard to the Ohio Western Reserve National Cemetery.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that incredible asset?
Sure.
It's what, about a 50-minute drive?
It is a 50-minute drive just south of Medina.
All right.
It sits in Seville/Rittman, Ohio, in Wayne County, south of Medina County, and it is a cemetery for honorably discharged veterans and their spouses, as well as any children that they had that would have died before the age of 18.
Okay.
So, or dependent children who were over the age of 18. This is a free burial site. If they wanted to have a casket burial, free burial site, free headstone for the veteran. Not only that, though, they offer cremation burial, so you can have your urn buried, but you can also have your urn go into a columbarium wall, which is a lot like a mausoleum, an outdoor mausoleum for urns. Not only is that for the veteran, but the legal spouse of the veteran is also eligible
Wow.
for those free services. And that is such an opportunity for our veterans and for their loved ones, and a tremendous savings. Prior to the turn of the last century, so the year 2000, our closest national cemetery was Wright Pat down in Dayton.
Okay.
So our local veterans were not taking advantage of that, and their families couldn't take advantage of it after their deaths. Now we have one within 75 miles of northeastern Ohio, and it is such a boon to us as far as just being able to care for the veterans in our community.
Yeah, being down there several times personally, it's impressive.
Oh, without a doubt. And I would strongly recommend that veterans take a trip down there, and not only just to check it out, but to have your breath taken away by the awesomeness of our government's military.
Well, we've supported the veterans in the community, in all of our communities, really been a foundational core belief and value of what we do. And so, a couple of years back, we put in a full cremation display at our crematory, on-site crematory. Can you just talk a little bit about that? Because those military honors could happen there, right?
They sure could. It's at our Parma location where our cremation center is located, and there are stones, like I would say similar to headstones, that denote each of the branches of the military.
Okay.
Along with a flag pole with the United States flag there. I believe we also have POW flag on there, which is very heartwarming. And that is a nice place for a military honor guard to fold and present a flag. And that means that we have two folks from the branch of the military, one on each end of the flag, folding it together in the traditional triangle. Another person, member of the military, playing taps on the trumpet. And then they present the flag to the next of kin or to the closest friend of the deceased veteran with a nice sentiment from the President of the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very nice.
So very nice.
I do also want to tell you, Jim, at the Veterans Circle in our Parma Funeral Home, there is a box for flags to be donated. So if you have a United States flag that is tattered and you don't know how to properly dispose of that, we will take care of that for you and do it in the most respectful way.
Wow, it's nice. So is there anything else that comes to mind? I mean, when you have the opportunity, we did a segment earlier and happened to be with your husband. And one of the things that was most memorable to him was, unfortunately, the services for active duty deaths.
Sure.
And we've had some heroes here in Avon Lake
Yes.
that unfortunately we've, have gone too soon.
Yes.
Mike Metters was one of them.
Yes.
So just tell me a little bit about the significance of the Metters family with you personally, with your son, and just how that kind of pulled all together. And it's just like one of those stories that it's so heartwarming and heart-wrenching to know from that little boy standing on the side of the road to, I'll let you finish telling the story, because when you shared that with me, I was just really taken back.
Yeah.
Really, really sweet.
You drove Michael Metters home from the airport when he was brought back from active duty. And we, my son and I, were along the side of the road. My boy Otto was in a stroller at the time.
Wow.
And I made a banner that said hero, and we got our picture taken in the newspaper that day. And I got interviewed for a second just about what this meant to me. And about the sacrifice that not only Michael Metters gave his country, but what his parents gave.
Yeah. I didn't mean to get you.
It's okay.
I didn't mean to get you emotional here on camera, but it shows that we're also human, right?
My son wore Michael's football number this year for the Shoreman. It was in actually 2023 football season. He was very honored to be chosen to wear the football number for the memorial game. And then this spring, he received a scholarship from the Medder's family.
Wow.
And that meant a great deal to him. And it was such a help for him for his college education.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, serving families is at the core,
Serving families is at the core.
but also the full circle connection
Right.
of that little boy sitting there watching
Yeah.
this massive procession
Yes.
and the way the community came out to honor our veterans.
For sure.
You know, I think it continues to show, you know, our thanks for the veterans, those that have served, those that continue to serve, and those that are in harm's way.
The ultimate gift.
Yeah. So I'm not sure we can follow up with any other questions past that, Megan. I mean, that's a wow. But really just want to thank you and your team for the way that you care for veterans in these communities. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
I would just like to say that if you have a computer, you can Google VA News, and the first thing that comes up is going to be just a bunch of information for veterans. You can go to news.va.gov and get all the information that you need for your benefits, for health care, questions that you may have, and most importantly, suicide prevention.
That's awesome to know that all those benefits are right there at the click of a mouse, right?
That's right.
And I just want to reiterate, you know, our thanks to you for being part of this segment, but also for the community to know that you have this incredible resource right at your doorstep.
For sure.
You know, and it's worth a phone call if you have a question to please reach out to Megan and her team. They'd be honored to help and ask and make sure that the veterans get the benefits that they're deserved and afforded. So, Megan, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.